Don't forget to check out their Friday feast this week and every week. Plus, big news, they have 2 new locations now open at 30th and Yankee Hill in Lincoln and 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Hi, it's Charlie Stone, and here with me is Andy Goodyear, General Manager of Honda of Lincoln. Andy, I know the new Honda sales are going really good right now at Honda of Lincoln, and with that, a lot of fresh trade-ins are coming in. Can you tell our listeners about your pre-owned selection?
I'm happy to, Charlie. Like you said, with new Honda sales going very good, we have a lot of fresh trade-ins coming in daily, and not just Hondas. We have just about every maker model you can imagine, with over 100 pre-owned and certified pre-owned to choose from, and prices starting at just $5,900.
Wow, what about financing?
We have financing as low as 3.29% APR on certified Accords and CRV.
Thanks again, Andy. People love the selection and great service at Honda of Lincoln. Maybe it's time you come experience the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business. 27th and Yankee Hill Road or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
This is Bud Seinhorst, President and CEO of LIBA, the Lincoln Independent Business Association. Join us every Saturday from 9 to 10 a.m. on 93.7 The Ticket for the LIBA Business Hour, as we discuss local business and highlight those who are thriving in the Lincoln area. It's the LIBA Business Hour, Saturdays from 9 to 10 a.m. on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Sean Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red.
Need service on your home air conditioner? No matter what brand you have, just call Bryant, 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
This is Adam Carriker on The Ticket.
Position right of the quarterback, out of the shotgun, 1st and 20. Jailbreak screen in the air. It is tipped. It is intercepted by Carriker at the Missouri 21-yard line.
Live from the heart of Lincoln, America, 8-year NFL vet and All-American defensive lineman Adam Carriker.
Shotgun snap to Everett. He's got the left arm going, and now he's
on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here's your host, Adam Carriker.
Welcome, everybody, to Adam Carriker on The Ticket on a Monday noon hour. Each and every Monday, ladies and gentlemen, I am right here. I am live. I am interacting with you fine folks at home from noon to 1 p.m. Central Time, also throughout the week here on The Ticket. You can catch the Big Ten Show with myself and my co-host, Jeff Turn, a longtime ESPN radio host. Also, the Carriker Chronicles are put out here on The Ticket as well. Tune in from noon to 1 p.m. Central Time almost every day throughout the week here on The Ticket. Come have lunch with yours truly in one way, shape, or form. And every Monday and Friday, I am live. Now, a couple of things. I put out the Big Ten Show on my social media last night and had a lot of people asking, hey, what happened to Carriker Live? So I kind of addressed this before, so I'll be very, very quick. I'm always going to talk Nebraska football. That's what The Ticket is about. Okay, what I do here on The Ticket, that's what the Chronicles is about. That's never, ever going to go away. But the opportunity, because I'm just a college football guy in general, the opportunity to talk college football in general is just exciting to me. So every Sunday night, 8 p.m. Central Time, on my social media, I will be posting the Big Ten Show going forward. Yes, Carriker Live is no longer, but that's kind of what extra excited me, and as hard as that was to let go, to be honest with you. I've talked about that other places multiple times, so I won't do it here again. That's what excites me, in addition to what I'm already doing with The Ticket, is I'm live right here, right now, the People segment. Okay, you can send me your questions. You can text them. You can call. All right, the number to interact with yours truly, just like I used to do on Carriker Live, which is now here on The Ticket, which is also, in addition to everything else, what makes this show so special to me, so much fun to me. I look forward to talking about more Husker victories, because then it wouldn't just be fun, it'd be awesome. Until then, it is still fun challenging at times. But text or call 402-464-5685. 402-464-5685. So right now, the last 10 minutes of every show, Monday and Friday, because I'm live, interacting with you fine folks, is dedicated to the people segment. Now, if we ever get to the point where we have so many questions, so many comments, so many people sending things in, then I'll start answering them more throughout the show. But we'll build that over time. All right, real quick. I want to give a shout out to our sponsor, all right? Because I guarantee that you've driven by GE Landscape and Supply countless times, likely without even knowing. It's 6701 Cornhusker Highway. Now it's time to stop in. GE Landscape Supply sells to homeowners and contractors with a vast selection of landscaping and construction materials. They sell in bulk to save you money. Buy anything from a 5-gallon bucket to a semi-load. And don't forget, they deliver anywhere, nearby or far away. Stop by at 6701 Cornhusker Highway from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday to Friday and 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Saturdays. Go to gelandscapesupply.com for more info or call 402-467-1627. All right. I also want to give a shout out to the people, the shows that I do, what I do here on The Ticket, what I do elsewhere. Check all that out at carrikerchronicles.com. Check out all 93.7 The Ticket stuff. They got phenomenal hosts that I'm proud to be associated with. None of that happens without you, the fans, the people. Nebraska, you probably heard by now, is 4-16. I believe that's correct, in their last 20 games. Yet, we set a world record for attendance at a women's sporting event at a volleyball game. Okay. Colorado, congrats on the win. Congrats on a red-hot start. Okay. But there's more people at our sporting events, whether we're winning or losing, than when they're winning. And I'd prefer to win, to be clear. But what I'm doing is I'm giving a shout out to the people. I'm thanking the people. Like, stay with this program, stay with this team, stay with this season. The next 2 weeks are not gimmies. Northern Illinois, Louisiana Tech. You never know what can happen in college football. But if we get wins the next 2 weeks, get back to 2-2, heading in to the final 8 games. Yeah, it's Michigan to start those final 8 games, that Big Ten slate. But everyone all offseason, all we ever said was get to a bowl game. Somehow that increased to 8 wins, 9 wins, maybe 10 wins. Who knows what can happen? Ladies and gentlemen, congrats to Deion and what he's doing at Colorado. But he kind of brought with him maybe one of the best quarterbacks in the country, and that helps. Okay, not many people can say that. And he didn't get lucky with that because it's his son. He's coached him his entire life. Random sidebar. Shout out to Shedeur Sanders. I mean, he didn't play great for quite a while, and then he caught fire at the end, and the stats look relatively pretty good. Like, he's a Heisman candidate for a reason. Potential top 10 pick. Okay, and when I say Deion didn't get lucky, like, he's coached Shedeur his entire life, so there's a reason Shedeur's pretty good, along with his own talent and ability, what his dad has done. That's not something everybody's going to bring with them when they go to start over at a new program, is their son, who may be a top 10 NFL pick within a year or two. I do have to wonder, is Deion going to go on to coach the NFL? Because at some point, Shedeur is going to have to play for someone else, and he's never experienced that. And I'm kind of curious to see how that might play out. And to be clear, despite the ugly Buffalo jersey that he's wearing now, I'm actually rooting for Shedeur now that we're not facing him anymore this year. And I'm curious to see how he does. So as far as Colorado, as far as all that stuff, I wish them nothing but the best. I find them highly entertaining and interesting to watch, as I've said several times. Sure would have been nice to get that victory. Obviously didn't happen. Okay. But again, back to my point. Shout out to the fans. Let's get two wins these next 2 weeks. Head into that Big Ten slate, the last 8 games. And let's get back to what we spoke about originally. Because we're doing this whole entire offseason and leading into the season. And the Kool-Aid got flowing. And, the big red Kool-Aid tastes so good. And then things got inflated. Not without reason. It's hard not to get excited, especially when you love something so dearly and you're passionate about something. I'm absolutely passionate about Husker football. I know Husker fans are, obviously. But let's get back to 2-2. Let's go to a bowl game and let's build this thing and let's build it the right way. And let's let Matt Rule do what he does. Okay, what he's done before. What I believe he's going to do here. He's just not going to do it within 2 games like Dion did. It's okay. There's only one Dion. Awesome. I do genuinely wonder if Dion will be there in a year or two, especially once Shadur goes pro. But that's neither here nor there. Honestly, not our business anymore. Okay, I am going to give some thoughts on the Colorado game. But then it will be time to move on to Northern Illinois and Louisiana Tech and the rest of this year and what this program it can do. Now, we got a lot of stuff to talk about today. Okay, grades. Like I said, I'm going to talk about the Colorado game, and then we will move on. Grades from the game. Okay, we've got some interesting stats to chat about. All right, I'll give my thoughts on the quarterback situation and how it stands and how I see it. Okay, I have written down here how important is a bowl game. So I'll put that out to you fans right now and let me know. And when we get to the people segment at the end, I want to hear your thoughts, your questions. How important is making a bowl game for Nebraska this year? Not overlooking our next 2 opponents, because you can never take a game for granted, especially in college football with these young men. But let's say we get to 2-2. Okay, going into game 5 versus Michigan. How important is making a bowl game to the Husker football program, to Husker Nation at that point? Let me know. Okay, simply respond. Call or text to 402-464-5685. So those are things we're going to chat about. So let's start off with the Colorado game, the grades from the game, which I have not given anywhere else. All right. So when you come to the running game, I mean, we averaged 5.4 yards per carry. And I pointed this out elsewhere. By the way, it's the exact amount of yards we average per pass completion, or per pass was 5.4 yards. That's enough to win a football game. Okay. When you come to grading the running game and you rush for, I believe, 222 yards, especially when there's not much of a threat of the pass. I mean, we didn't win the game, so it's hard to give anything an A. Okay. But to me, we move the ball. Again, we're not explosive. We're methodical. And when you're methodical, you have to be disciplined. And we're not disciplined. We have too many penalties, too many turnovers, too many untimely turnovers. My gosh. Hey, let's drive into the opponent's territory time and time again, and then we'll turn it over. Not that a turnover is ever any good, but you get my point. For the run game, I would give it a solid B. The pass game, I mean, we're struggling to pass the ball this year. When you look at our quarterback, all right, Mr. Jeff Sims, this is an individual who is highly talented, highly dynamic. I've talked about all that. Okay, Matt Rule said NFL scouts told him that he's a guy that can make every throw. That's why he brought him in. You know, I did do a video this offseason where I said Jeff Sims is going to tell us a lot about Matt Rule, because Jeff Sims is talented. Matt Rule is known for being a developer of players. So far, we haven't seen a whole lot of development. He actually looks like he's regressed since his time at Georgia Tech. Talking about Jeff Sims as our quarterback here. But so far this year, okay, he has 1 touchdown pass, 4 interceptions. He's had a hand in 8 different turnovers in some way, shape, or form or another. 35.9 QBR. Now, this is kind of who Sims is. I mean, at Georgia Tech, he had 30 touchdown passes, multiple years of starting, but 23 interceptions. That's not a great ratio. You want it to at least be 2-to-1, touchdown passes to interceptions. Even if you're a running quarterback, which Jeff is, you still want it to be at least 2-to-1. And if you're predominantly a passing quarterback, 3-to-1 or greater is what you're looking for. Okay. Now, there's more turnovers during his time at Georgia Tech. I didn't include the fumbles. All right. He has 8 more this year. So really he has, if you look at it, 1 touchdown pass this year, 1 touchdown run. So he has 32 career touchdowns total running and passing. And he has 32 or more career turnovers if you include interceptions and fumbles all the way back to his first year starting at Georgia Tech. Okay. That does lead the country. All right. Now, 3 of his first 4 career starts at Georgia Tech, he threw for over 200 yards. He's only done it 1 time since, and he's only thrown for 220 total yards so far this year. Okay. I don't know if I mentioned this. His QBR is 35.9. So when it comes to, and I'm going to give my thoughts specifically on the quarterback situation, the way it is right now here in a minute. When you come to the pass game, I mean, if I'm a defense, the grade for the pass game from the Colorado game, if I'm a defense, I'm not putting 8 men in the box. I'm putting 9. I mean, I just am. Why? Why would I do anything but cover zero? We need a receiver to step up to show that they can take the top off of defense, because right now we don't have it. It doesn't hurt that Xavier Betts isn't on the team. Isaiah Garcia Castaneda tore his ACL, and he was going to be someone we counted on to contribute and who had some speed. None of that helps. Billy Kemp, probably our best receiver, isn't necessarily a top-end speed guy. He does other things well. But if I'm a defense, I'm putting here's what I'm doing. I'm putting 8 guys in the box, and then I'm putting 1 guy as a spy on Jeff Sims, and it's that simple. Well, why would I do anything else? I'm not worried about the receivers blowing the top off the defense. I'm not worried about the quarterback making that pass. I'm putting 9 guys in the box because Nebraska is averaging over 200 rush yards a game. All right, 5.4 yards per carry, but just over 100 rush yards a game, and they threw the ball no deeper than they rushed it every time last game. 5.4 yards per rush, 5.4 yards per pass completion. I should mention, okay, and again, I'm not trying to bury anybody. These just are facts. I haven't even really, other than giving my grade for the run game so far, given an actual opinion yet. Everything I'm stating is just facts. Okay. I mean, when it comes to the pass game, I don't know how you give it anything, above a D, D minus. If you want to be mean, you could say F. You want to be incredibly kind, you could say D plus. I'm going to go D minus for the pass game. The offensive line's a bit of a mixed bag because when you talk about an offensive line grade, because we're rushing the ball well. Sims doesn't have a lot of time to pass, but we're not passing well to begin with. With the offensive line, I'd probably give him a C because we're somehow still running the ball, but we're not doing a lot of other things great. And that is a lot due to the quarterback. That is a lot due to things that we still need to get better with in general. Okay, so that'd be my grade for the O-line is a C. You look at the defense. The defense is leading the nation in sacks right now with 11 after 2 games. They're giving up 1.9 yards per carry. I mean, this is a defense. Those are insane stats. Number 1 in the country, 133 teams in sacks. Okay, 1.9 yards per carry you're giving up on the ground. And all I see, the national narrative is this from the Colorado game. Oh, Colorado blew the doors off Nebraska. Colorado dominated Nebraska. Well, it was 0-0 with about, 6-7 minutes to go before half. And then 2 turnovers gave Colorado a short field, which Nebraska, the black shirts, held them to 10 points. And yeah, 36-14 isn't exactly close. I've seen some pundits where they said, oh, the game was actually much closer than that. And then I turn around and I watch another guy, Joel Klatt, and he's like, oh, it wasn't even that close. Joel Klatt is one of the best in the biz. And early on in the game, I thought he was very open about playing at Colorado and all these things and how that 2001 game meant a lot to him. It got him to quit minor league baseball where he was floundering and got him to walk on at the University of Colorado. And then he ended up playing and starting, was a good quarterback. First guy I ever sacked in college. Shout out Joel. And I thought he did a pretty good job of hiding what he's going to have a natural bias. He was part of a committee that had input on hiring Deion Sanders. He's going to be no more unbiased towards Colorado than I am Nebraska. And I am open about my bias, and I am open about how I try to be as unbiased as I can be. And I thought he did a good job. I thought Gus Johnson was not great, the other announcer. Good grief. It's almost as if he said, all right, Joel's being fairly unbiased, so I'll pick up the slack where Joel isn't being biased, and I'll do it for him. But as the game wore on, his ugly black and gold blood that runs through his veins, Mr. Klatt, who does a great job in general, it started to show true. And then when I watched a little bit of his show this morning, I only watched 5 minutes, then I shut it off. And he just talked about how Colorado played sloppy and awful early on, which was not true. The black shirts played really well. Nebraska moved the ball and then handed them the ball. Nebraska played sloppy on offense. And even in a short field, Nebraska held them to 2 field goals and 1 touchdown when Colorado had 3 short fields right before halftime and 2 incredibly short fields. And then as the game wore along, eventually you get the ball enough with that talent, that quarterback, they're going to score. The black shirts were put in tough position after tough position. Then they got wore down as the game went along. And Colorado finally put some points on the board without turnovers, without short fields, because they're not halfway horrible on their side of the ball, and you give them enough opportunities, and guess what? They're eventually going to do something. The defense, I'm going to give them a B+ because I'm not giving anybody an A at this point this season. But I don't know what more you realistically expect out of them. Again, number 1 in the nation in sacks. 1.9 yards per carry they're giving up per rush, which is towards the tops in the country. Okay. I guess I just got annoyed. I actually really liked what Joel was doing with the announcing. And then as the score got less and less close, his bias came more and more out. And then when I watched his show this morning, it was insane. I was like, all right. He's basically saying Nebraska didn't do anything. Colorado just crapped all over themselves for the first 2.5 to 3 quarters. And then they finally woke up, decided to play, and that's when they pulled away. No, Nebraska's defense played really well. Nebraska actually rushed the ball. But eventually, when you keep giving it back like a bad Christmas morning, a bad present on Christmas morning to the other team, and the other team has talent and a good quarterback, and apparently a pretty good coach too, not just the greatest DB of all time, they're eventually going to make plays because guess what? They work in their practices, they lift weights, and they watch film too. I just got kind of annoyed by his bias a little bit, if you couldn't tell, because it eventually came out after I thought he was doing a really good job for a while. All right. Special teams. We have the missed field goal. I don't know that it was a gimme. It was definitely makeable. You got a freshman kicking it. Okay. Nothing really stuck out one way or the other. Yeah, there was some plays here or there on both sides. I'm going to give them a B-. I mean, when you go to overall for the team, it's tough because, and these are stats I've stated elsewhere, we're averaging over 200 rushing yards per game, over 5 yards per carry a game. We lead the nation in sacks on defense, 1.9 yards per carry that we're giving up, but we've had 22 possessions this year. Hold on, let me pull up the exact stats here and make sure I relay them correctly. 22 possessions this year. All right. We've turned it over on downs twice. 2 field goal attempts. The one I mentioned that we missed. Okay, made one against Minnesota, missed one against Colorado. 3 touchdowns. We've gone 3 and out 3 times with 7 punts and 8 turnovers. We're turning the ball over 36% of the time. There's a lot of things that are going well, that we are doing well, that winning football is being played in certain areas. But I put it out on social media this morning. You can't win the game if you don't have the ball. It's that simple. Our opening possession of the game, we drove down the field around Colorado's 30, turned it over. Later on in the half, drove it down the field, got to about their 30, 35, turned it over. And it's not like, and all credit to Colorado. They're doing great things right now. I think I just threw up in my mouth a little. But it's not like they're making one-handed interceptions or they're just coming scot-free and blowing Jeff Sims sky high and the ball's just flying in the air because he's getting hit from the blind side. No, we're snapping the ball into guys that we have going in motion. We're fumbling a handoff exchange from the quarterback to the running back. I legit trust my 8th grade quarterback to run our offense better than I trust Jeff Sims to run the Nebraska offense. And to be clear, I think Jeff Sims is a talented guy. I think he can turn things around. But I think something has to change at the quarterback position. And I put out a show on that this morning, but I want to touch on it here. Whether it's Heinrich Harburg, whether it's Chubba Purdy, have they not looked great in practice? I mean, why have they not gotten a chance when Sims is struggling so much, barring him getting banged up at the end of the Colorado game? Whether it's Jeff Sims, if he is our best option, which why not just give somebody else a try? Just see what happens. I mean, honestly, if you can put a guy in motion and snap the ball without hitting the guy in motion, that's an improvement. If you can turn around and hand the ball off on counter left, that's an improvement. Okay. If we can just take care of the football, especially when we put together a drive, it takes us a while to get down there. Let's not waste it. That would be an improvement. And I'm not trying to crap all over Jeff Sims. All I am saying, okay, is that a change is needed in some way, shape, or form. And my gut says give somebody else an opportunity. Now, we saw what Chubba could do last year. He's a year later. He was only a freshman. He struggled last year. Maybe he's better this year. He's 3rd string, probably for a reason. Heinrich Harburg appears to be the guy to me that you just give an opportunity to, unless he just looks awful in practice. He's a big guy with a big arm, and he's fast enough to play wide receiver. If he can operate the offense and just be the best plain Jane, don't make a play quarterback in the history of planet Earth, but a great, phenomenal game manager, and just do the simple things, that would be an upgrade. And again, I'm not trying to slam anybody, but it is what it is, and the facts are what they are. 2 + 2 = 4, no matter how much somebody else might want it to equal 5. I don't remember if I gave my overall grade for the game. Oh, man. D+. All right. We're going to put Colorado behind us. I'm excited to do so. And then we're going to talk about going forward. The next games. Don't go anywhere, Husker Nation. We'll be right back.
Belmont Chiropractic and Novotny Nutrition and Wellness specialize in getting rid of people's pain quickly and permanently. For 31 years, they've been extremely successful with advanced techniques in pain relief using spinal adjustments and decompression, detoxification, diet and lifestyle modification, and more. They are fully equipped to handle the most seasonal athlete, weekend warrior, car accidents, strains, sprains, and more. Is there anywhere you're experiencing pain on your body, or are you fighting decreased energy and depression? Consult Belmont Chiropractic and Novotny Nutrition and Wellness first at 402-476-8619.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric is the call I make when I have a need for plumbing services. Whether it's for my home or office, if I need a repair to a water heater, softener, or even my garbage disposal, I know I can count on Action to help. In one simple call, their amazing customer service team promptly schedules a service call, often getting to my needs within a day. Action delivers honest, quality services we can count on. To learn more, visit actionlincoln.com.
Load up on meat and more this summer at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese at 84th and Half. This week's specials through September 12th are $2 off grass-finished flat iron steaks. And don't forget to check out their Friday feast this week and every week. Plus, big news, they have 2 new locations now open at 30th and Yankee Hill in Lincoln and 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Close your eyes and imagine yourself buying a Nebraska Lottery Trucks and Bucks scratch ticket. Now, imagine scratching it off and winning a brand new truck. Imagine the excited victory dance you'll do when you get the keys to your new truck. There you go. Yeah. Okay, that's enough. Now, imagine driving down the street in your cool new ride. Easy. Slow down a little. Maybe give a little honk to that neighbor who thinks he's all that. Nice. Now, open your eyes and play today.
Top prize odds, 1 in 336,000.
Welcome to the company, Sarah. Benefits include 2 weeks of vacation, 401k matching, and 5 minutes of dream time per day.
Dream time?
Yes, I'm guessing you play Mega Millions from the Nebraska Lottery.
Of course.
Well, we give every employee 5 minutes to close their eyes and dream of all the things they could do with those millions of dollars. Yachts, mansions, you name it.
That's awesome.
Obviously, to make up for that time, we had to take away cappuccino breaks.
Obviously.
Mega Millions, top prize odds, 1 in 302 million.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy? It's Planet Fitness. Now through September 13th, join for just $1 down, $10 a month, cancel anytime. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. Plus, with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime. Deal ends Wednesday, September 13th. See Home Club for details.
The best way to learn about Southeast Community College is to visit. SCC's Discovery Days will give you the opportunity to experience SCC firsthand this fall. Discovery Days provide information about SCC's programs of study, how to pay for college, SCC support services, housing, activities, and more. A campus tour and lunch are provided. See your options at southeast.edu/visit SCC. SCC, your path to possible.
September is National Literacy Month, a time to encourage the young people in your life to go to the library, pick up a good book, and explore new worlds. I'm Jenny Benson, president of the Nebraska State Education Association. By getting books in the hands of kids, we can engage these young readers in their learning and help them see how school, community, and the world beyond are connected.
Sponsored by the Nebraska State Education Association, aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Keep your planter. Upgrade your technology with a John Deere Performance Upgrade Kit from Landmark Implement. Choose from ExactEmerge, MaxEmerge 5, or MaxEmerge 5E electric drive row units. Take your planter to the next level. Improve yield potential and profitability without buying new. Get new technology, increased performance, and confidence from your planter that's already in your shed. Contact your local Landmark location to order your John Deere Performance Upgrade Kit and experience the Landmark difference.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red!
Accelerate your financial journey. With Kasasa Cash, experience the thrill of earning more with each transaction or the freedom to withdraw your cash from any ATM nationwide. Not to mention, no monthly service fees. It's the power of earning up to 5.5% APY on your Kasasa Cash with Liberty First Credit Union. Earn rewards beginning at a penny, continuing up to $40,000. Visit libertyfirstcu.com for details. Federally insured by NCUA. Liberty First Credit Union. Banking with purpose. Account qualifications apply.
Join us at this year's Ignite Lincoln 15 at Rococo Theater on Thursday, September 14th for an inspiring night of stories that spark change. Get your tickets at ignitelincoln.org. Don't miss this chance to be a part of something extraordinary.
You're listening to Adam Carriker on The Ticket on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, everybody. Welcome back to Adam Carriker on The Ticket. I pretty much plan on talking about the quarterback situation, comments, quotes that were made by Matt Rule. Let me be clear, Matt Rule during his press conference, which just ended a few minutes ago. Before I get to that, remember, go to gelandscapesupply.com for all your needs. Also, check them out, 402-467-1627, and that's gelandscapesupply.com. Now, some of the quotes that just came out of the press conference, and I quote, "Jeff's our starting quarterback. If this hadn't happened, he'd be out there," end quote. That's Matt Rule. All right, another quote from Coach Rule. Okay, well, basically, here's what he's saying. All right, on the expectations going forward. And I quote, "This is what you get when you hire me. It's not going to be fast. It's not going to be fixed overnight. I understand if there's frustration. We're trying to learn how to win." All right, and end quote. And then at another point in the press conference, all right, Rule says Nebraska wants to win so badly it's afraid to lose, which means it's afraid to win. Now, it's interesting. You know, social media is what it is. Okay. But I thought Ken Peterson on Twitter had an interesting question. Okay. He said, ask him, meaning Coach Rule, why Anthony Grant isn't playing because he fumbled once in a game, but Sims continues to play with 6 turnovers in 2 games, somewhere between 6 to 8. He had a hand in several. That's a great question. Okay. Is it because he has no problem putting Gabe Ervin out there, running the ball with Sims when Sims runs the ball? And is this more of a confidence in Jeff Sims thing because he believes in him? Or is it potential lack of confidence in the other potential guys who could play quarterback, the backups? Heinrich Harbeck, Chubba Purdy. It's a question I don't know the answer to. But when you look at the running back position, Gabe Ervin got a lot more carries this last game. Anthony Grant got less after the unfortunate fumble at Minnesota at the end of the game. But Jeff Sims stays. So it's interesting. It's an interesting question posed by Ken Peterson on Twitter. Now, some of the comments made by Rule here. And let me read one more thing. I understand if there's frustration, we're trying to learn how to win as a team. I think I already read that. So when I hear what Rule said during the press conference, okay, a couple things stand out to me. Number one, it's a guy who's going to do what he thinks is best. He's not going to waver regardless of what else is said out there. There's pluses and minuses with that. I think more pluses than minuses. Okay. And the plus is it's a guy who's been there. It's a guy who's done this at Temple. 2 wins in year 1. Okay. Eventually took them to an AAC championship game and then an AAC championship. A guy, it was so bad at Baylor. He called his dad, not only a preacher, but also a high school football coach, said, hey, can you and mom come move down to Waco and help me? And his dad literally shared his office with Coach Rule down there while they rebuilt that Baylor program into what at one time was a top 10 program during Rule's tenure. But that first year, they won 1 game. This is a guy who's like, this is my process. This is how I roll. This is how I roll. I get that. I respect that. There's been times in the past when I kind of felt like maybe a quarterback change should have been made over the past few years, and we can get into the whole Adrian Martinez debate. Not today, not here, not now. But there is some thought that had we moved on from Adrian, maybe things would have gone different for Frost. Easy for me to say. I will say that I think there were issues that ran way deeper than the quarterback. My point is this. There's pluses and minuses. The plus is Rule knows who he is as a coach. He will not waver. Okay? The potential minus is if Sims continues to play the way that he has, if he starts. That seems to be a big, gigantic potential minus. Now, he did not practice today, so I guarantee that Harburg and Purdy are getting plenty of looks in practice. They're going to evaluate Sims throughout the week as he nurses this injury. If he's healthy, Rule has said he's going to start Saturday. If he's not, then they're obviously going to have to choose between Harburg and Purdy, and currently Harburg is listed higher on the depth chart. For me, personally, I don't think that we're afraid to lose. I don't think Nebraska's afraid to lose. I think Nebraska's sick of losing. I think Nebraska's sick of losing to teams with less talent. I think Nebraska looks at Colorado, and this is a different landscape of college football than when Rule was at Temple and at Baylor. NIL, the transfer portal, like it's quicker to turn around a college basketball program for various reasons. Number one, there's less people on the team. So it's easier to turn over the roster, bring in talent, yada, yada, yada. In football, it's now easier to turn over the roster, bring in new talent, yada, 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 for everything I just mentioned, transfer portal, NIL. It's not the same world that Rule had when he was at Temple and Baylor. That being said, well, let me come back to that. I do believe it changes things a little bit. It doesn't help when you look at Colorado and Deion's doing what he's doing, but I will say this. There's only one Deion Sanders, and like I said earlier in the show, not everybody's going to bring a Shedeur Sanders with them right out the gate. That's a luxury that just about no other new head coach is going to have. Hey, my son's going to, Heisman Trophy candidate, potential top 10 pick in the NFL draft in the future. Not everybody's going to have that. But when you look at who he brought in at the skill position guys and the talent that they have and that they've acquired, he did it quickly. Now, I could argue, and I forget where I heard this, but somebody was talking about it's really not the Nebraska way to just basically clear out an entire team, bring in a new entire team full of players. Like, it's just not really the Nebraska way, and I understand that. Nebraska wants to play run the ball, smash mouth, physical offense. We've done that to a degree, significantly better than the past couple years. Wants to play solid smash mouth defense, leading the nation in sacks, giving up 1.9 yards per carry. I think we're well on the way to doing that. Develop players. Matt Rule simply saying we're going to learn how to win and we're going to develop this program. That's exactly what he's saying. So he could argue, Nebraska fans, I'm giving you exactly what you want. Almost. When you watch the quarterback play, I mean, can we snap the ball without hitting the guy in motion? Can we execute a handoff? Can we not have 4 INTs to 1 touchdown pass? Can we not throw the ball farther downfield than 5.4 yards per pass attempt like we did last Saturday? And our longest pass completion of the season, the 1 touchdown pass that Sims has so far, 34 yards, was the double pass, which hit the ground, play dubbed Osborne for Coach Osborne, that he eventually threw in the end zone, was caught for a touchdown against Minnesota. So it wasn't even a typical pass play. You can't rely on trick plays all the time. This isn't Boise State versus Oklahoma Fiesta Bowl. A la, was that 2007, 8, 5? I don't know. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Statue of Liberty play, 2-point conversion at the end. Boise State wins. Running back proposes to his girlfriend. Cinderella story come true. So I respect what Rule said. I respect his process. I don't think Nebraska fans are sick of afraid to lose. I think we're sick of losing, and I think we see a position on the team that's gigantically negatively affecting the team, and we're like, hey, if we could just kind of get an improved play at that one position, we're 1-1, if not, at least competing for 2-0, possibly 2-0. I think that's fair. I think it's fair on both sides. I respect Rule's position. I respectfully disagree, although I'm not watching practice every day. I don't know exactly how Harburg and Chuba look in practice. When I watch Sims on Saturday, they got to look better, right? Is that just me? Am I crazy? So it's interesting. With Sims being banged up, I will say this. It's interesting to me because he's got his quarterbacks back right now. That's a good thing. That's a good thing as a head coach. Publicly to have his back and then hold him accountable in private. But the injury thing is interesting because they have a better idea of how hurt he really is than any of us. If Sims really is day-to-day, okay, I get it. But if Sims is a little bit more banged up than we realize, and he's having his back, knowing that someone else is probably going to start Saturday, and I don't know that this is the case, but if I'm a head coach and I got a quarterback that's banged up a little bit, I can have his back publicly, and if he can't play Saturday, also still at the same time start someone else potentially. And publicly, I've supported my player. I've got his back, yet I potentially can give someone else a start without a bunch of drama. And I'm not saying, I hope Jeff Sims recovers incredibly quickly, to be clear on that. I'm not saying anything else, anything different. To me, it's interesting because Nebraska's doing a lot of things well, but then it just looks so ugly. And there's a common denominator. And again, I'm not trying to make it about Jeff Sims. I'm making it about the quarterback play in general and how that has to change whoever the quarterback is. To be clear, this is not me calling out any one player. It might feel that way, but it's the position and the play at that position. And you've got guys who are highly talented, highly touted coming out of high school. Chuba Purdy started as a true freshman at Florida State at one time, 4-star. Heinrich Harburg, I've talked about his talent ability in the past multiple times. What I've seen from him. He was a guy who was a Sports Illustrated All-American nominee coming out of high school. The first quarterback to sign from the state of Nebraska to Nebraska since 2001. All right. I've been impressed when I've seen him at practice over the years. So there's talent, there's ability in that quarterback room. You just got to develop it. Let me know your thoughts. Your comments, the people's segments coming up. I found Rule's comments intriguing because he's going to stick to what he believes. He's going to do his process. Also, he knows I'm not going anywhere. Like when he signed that contract, he ain't going nowhere. He's going to be here for 3 to 4 to 5 years no matter what. And he's gone through 2-win seasons in the past, 1-win season in the past, and then he's seen it come to success and fruition. I do think 6-6 in a bowl game is still reasonable here at Nebraska. We should win the next 2 games. Then we've got 8 games after that, Michigan, but it's not exactly murderer's row. There's no reason we can't go 500, be 2-2, go into those final 8 games, the Big Ten slate, starting with Michigan, and it gets much easier after that, and go 500, go to a bowl game. There's no reason for it, especially as well as the team is playing in certain areas. Let me know your thoughts, though. Maybe I'm cuckoo crazy. Let me know. Call or text 402-464-5685. People's segment. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Are you working in or looking to get into the electrical construction industry? The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
September is National Literacy Month, a time to encourage the young people in your life to go to the library, pick up a good book, and explore new worlds. I'm Jenny Benson, president of the Nebraska State Education Association. By getting books in the hands of kids, we can engage these young readers in their learning and help them see how school, community, and the world beyond are connected.
Sponsored by the Nebraska State Education Association, aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association in this station.
Gala Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers.
Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Accelerate your financial journey. With Kasasa Cash, experience the thrill of earning more with each transaction or the freedom to withdraw your cash from any ATM nationwide. Not to mention, no monthly service fees. It's the power of earning up to 5.5% APY on your Kasasa Cash with Liberty First Credit Union. Earn rewards beginning at a penny, continuing up to $40,000. Visit libertyfirstcu.com for details. Federally insured by NCUA. Liberty First Credit Union. Banking with purpose. Account qualifications apply.
Where will your path take you, traveler? To seek fortune in a new career, or on a journey to distant lands for a well-deserved vacation? Wherever you go, one distraction could spell disaster. You can change your fate, adventurer. Don't drive distracted. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Guys, you've heard me tell you all about Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping, but it's not just me. Folks all over town are having success with the FXB program. Guys like Gary, who just finished up his own 10-week challenge.
Yeah, Mark. After having a knee replacement in March, I was looking for a way to get back into shape. The workouts are fun, the atmosphere is a total blast, and I've lost 17 pounds since starting in July.
The next Farrell's 10-week challenge begins on October 7th, and ticket listeners get $150 off enrollment. Just head to theticketfm.com. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping at 40th and Yankee Hill and 70th and Vine.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red!
Hey guys, Jake Sorensen here from Early Break. The garage door at our house has been needing replacement for a couple years, and a few months ago, we finally did something about it. Steve's Garage Doors and Services was great through the whole process in providing options and also going to the next level to get a door that was approved by our HOA. And best of all, the removal of the old door and installation of the new door was done smoothly with no issues. Call Steve's Garage Doors and Services today at 402-480-9462.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Rosie Sports Bar and Grill. Open for lunch and dinner at 10th and P or at 1501 Center Park Road.
Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket.
Okay, playing 93.7 The Ticket.
Alexa, turn down the lights.
Dimming the lights.
Alexa, order a pizza. The big one. All the toppings.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Alexa.
That's a lot of pizza for just one man.
Alexa, just do it. Stop judging me, just do it.
As you wish.
Thanks, Alexa. You're my best friend.
This is Bud Seinhorst, President and CEO of LIBA, the Lincoln Independent Business Association. Join us every Saturday from 9 to 10 a.m. on 93.7 The Ticket for the LIBA Business Hour, as we discuss local business and highlight those who are thriving in the Lincoln area. It's the LIBA Business Hour, Saturdays from 9 to 10 a.m. on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
You're listening to Adam Carriker on The Ticket on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Adam Carriker on The Ticket. All right. Go to GELandscapeSupply.com. They do a great job. Also, hit them up at 402-467-1627. Random sidebar, and then I'm going to get to your questions. The people segment is upon us, Husker Nation. You go to CarrikerChronicles.com, and it's pretty cool because I'm getting texts, I'm getting calls frequently from people like, hey, how do I get on the site? How do I get my content up there? People are interested in having it on there. So if you do a good job, don't contact me if you don't do a good job. If you do a good job, hit me up. I mean, we've had Ashley Spitznagel and her phenomenal art. Connor Hayden of Corn Crazed. He put out like 2 videos that had like 30, 40,000 views on YouTube last week. Okay, John Johnston. He unfortunately had to do a reaction show from the bathroom again. Go check that out if you don't know what that's about. Husker legend, Rob Zadiska. Media icon, Travis Justice. Travis will love me for that one. Doc Talk. We've added recently Don Collins, a guy who loves to talk Husker football, been doing his content for a while. People just need to become more aware of who he is. Also, Big Red Country with Jeff, all at CarrikerChronicles.com. It's growing every day. And as always, phenomenal content here on 93.7 The Ticket. Check them out on YouTube as well. All right, let's get to your questions. Well, real quick, I made a couple of notes during the commercial break, and I'm going to go through these quickly. I hope they kind of surmise what I have said up to this point. Rule knows who he is as a football coach. As a college football coach, he knows who he is. That's pretty clear through his statements today. I love that. I respect that. I don't want a vanilla wafer as a head coach, so I love that. The one counterpoint I would make is college football is different than the last time he was a head coach in it, so I'm curious to see how that plays out. He does have the luxury of knowing that he's here for the next 3 to 4 to 5 years no matter what. That's how it's going to be. And I'm okay with that. Just thought I'd throw that out there. Personally, I would give, unless he looks terrible in practice this week, Heinrich Harburg a chance on Saturday. That's just me personally. But again, I'm not the coach. I'm not making the moolah. Okay, that's his decision. He's the head coach for a reason. Marcus Satterfield as well. I did mention the injury. This could be a situation where I hope Jeff Sims has a speedy recovery. But if he's not able to play this week, Rule can have his quarterbacks back and also potentially start someone else at the same time. Again, I wish Sims a speedy recovery. Also, again, I am making this about the quarterback position, not an individual person. But we know who Jeff Sims is. You have multiple years of him starting at Georgia Tech. He's come here and he's done the same thing. Honestly, he's done not as good here as he did at Georgia Tech, in my opinion. But we know who he is. Okay? Those are my opinions. Those are my thoughts. And again, none of it is personal. I am speaking about the head coaching position, the quarterbacking position, to be clear. Okay. Most importantly, let's get to your questions. All right. It's the People's segment. Unnamed texter says, hey, AC, do you think if coaches/media set expectations as year 0 and need work instead of the Kool-Aid hype, would fans be okay with an 0-2 start? In other words, as the season goes along, the Kool-Aid starts flowing. We hear certain things that we like. Coach Rule's a great speaker. I'm going to be honest with you. Scott Frost was awful in front of the microphone. He hurt himself a ton. I mean, the play on the field wasn't very good, but man, he hurt himself in front of the microphone a lot. Coach Rule's great in front of the mic. His people skills are great. His PR skills are great. He's great at it. That's part of being a head coach at a major university. And I'm not blaming him for the Kool-Aid, to be clear. But what I'm saying is, when you have a head coach who understands, football and understands how to communicate in a positive manner, people are going to get excited. And some people are going to read what they want. Sometimes it's negative, sometimes it's positive. Now, blaming the media, and I'm a member of the media, so blaming the media for expectations, I don't know about that. Okay, because I have said from day one, 6-6 bowl game, I'd be happy. When I did my prediction show about, 3 to 4 weeks ago, I predicted 7-5. I also said, the ceiling was probably 9-3 and the floor was 3-9. And most of that was due to our schedule. Colorado's obviously better than we thought. I honestly think Minnesota's worse than I thought they were when I recorded that video, as I learned more about their team, and their quarterback is not great. Okay. I think people want to get excited. You want to have a reason to root for your team. I don't want to go into a season and be like, oh man, we're going to go 4-8, go Big Red. I mean, who wants to do that? For me, if we go 6-6 and we go to a bowl game, I'm going to call it a successful season and move on. If we don't go to a bowl game and we don't go 6-6, I'll have to evaluate how the season has gone at that point. I've been steadfast in that, and I think most people have. All right. John says after 2 games, can you tell what Nebraska does well and what they need to work on, or is it too early to tell? Have you listened to the show this far? I mean, all right, Rico, next time we're suspending people who send in a question when they're not listening to the rest of the show. I've made it very clear. We run the ball well. We stop the run. Okay, we get after the quarterback. Much better than I thought we would, honestly. Tied for the leading the nation in sacks. Okay. Yes. Are there things we could do better? Yes. Colorado threw the ball down the field in the second half of the game. Minnesota moved the ball by passing the ball late in the game when it mattered most. So you could argue maybe we need to make better second half adjustments defensively in the back end because teams are able to pass on us, especially come the fourth quarter or the last 5 minutes of the fourth quarter versus Minnesota. Offensively, we're running the ball well. We're not throwing it well. We're not taking care of the ball. I mean, next person who asks a question that I've already answered previously in the show, we're going to start suspending people. And if you want to know, Rico just said suspensions all around. I took that from a wrestling podcast that I listened to. It's Keeping It 100, Disco Inferno, Conan. All right. And I'll be honest with you, they suspend people over everything. I mean, I listened to the show this morning and somebody complimented Disco. Said, hey, man, you were one of my favorites growing up. You're a wrestling icon. And Disco said, you're suspended for patronizing me. That was a bit excessive. I'm not going to be that ridiculous, but people listen. Then ask a question, please. All right. AA Ron says, Adam, are the next 2 games a good time to get Sims more comfortable and calm down, or are we setting him aside till he figures it out? You can look at it both ways because my instant reaction, and if you look at the comment that I left on my show that I posted this morning under YouTube, I flat out said the next 2 games are not gimmies, not taking anything for granted because we never know what will happen. Okay. But we should be 2-2 after these next 2 games. But if I'm Coach Rule, I'm using these next 2 games to build towards the final 8. Like, we should win those games. Not a gimme. There's a big if, unfortunately. But it is college football. You never know what will happen anyways. My point is this. I think we know who Jeff Sims is. Now, you can use it to give Jeff Sims comfortable, like you said, or you can use it to get a new quarterback some reps and prepare for down the stretch. But according to Matt Rule, it all depends on Jeff Sims' injury and how he's doing this week. I'm going to take him at his word, and that's what he said. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, as always, I've enjoyed the show. I look forward to Friday when I'm live again. Also, check out other shows throughout the week here on The Ticket, noon to 1 p.m. with yours truly and a couple other folks that'll be joining me. All right, I will be interviewing Husker legend Tommy Frazier tomorrow. Just did an appearance at Estes Park with him. He had an awesome red blazer on. I felt inferior. I need a red blazer like that. Plus, he's Tommy frickin' Frazier. Anyways, I'll see you all the rest of this week. I'll see you all on Friday, and hopefully next Monday we're talking about a Husker victory. All right, until next time, go Big Red, and always remember to throw the ball.
Of Kansas City Royals baseball. KNTK FM for 93.7 The Ticket.
Close your eyes and imagine yourself buying a Nebraska Lottery Trucks and Bucks scratch ticket. Now, imagine scratching it off and winning a brand new truck. Imagine the excited victory dance you'll do when you get the keys to your new truck. There you go. Yeah. Okay, that's enough. Now, imagine driving down the street in your cool new ride. Easy. Slow down a little. Maybe give a little honk to that neighbor who thinks he's all that. Nice. Now, open your eyes and play today.
Top prize odds, 1 in 336,000.
Welcome to the company, Sarah. Benefits include 2 weeks of vacation, 401k matching, and 5 minutes of dream time per day.
Dream time?
Yes, I'm guessing you play Mega Millions from the Nebraska Lottery.
Of course.
Well, we give every employee 5 minutes to close their eyes and dream of all the things they could do with those millions of dollars. Yachts, mansions, you name it.
That's awesome.
Obviously, to make up for that time, we had to take away cappuccino breaks.
Obviously.
Mega Millions, top prize odds, 1 in 302 million.
Hi, everyone. Kendall Warnock with A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. If you're looking for an automotive repair facility you can genuinely trust, we would be grateful for the opportunity to earn your business repairing your vehicle. We have ASE master technicians and qualified to work on a variety of vehicles from Hondas to Porsches, Jaguars to Toyotas, and Chevrolets to Fords. We pride ourselves on customer service and relationships, and we would be grateful for the opportunity to serve you. Give us a call at 402-477-4660. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red!
Okay, it's time to sell the house. How do we even begin to choose from the hundreds of realtors in town?
Easy. We make a pros list.
You mean a pros and cons list?
No, just a pros list. We need someone with pro